Hey everybody, welcome to the Team Eat Sweat Pray team call. It is July 10th. We are more than halfway through 2018. Like, that's crazy. I am pretty excited to chat with you guys today about massive action days and inviting. Mostly because I know this is something that I think we always talk about, areas that we really need to either work on or improve. Like, that kind of seems to be our tendency or our norm. And I am excited to talk about this topic because this was something that really, I don't know if I want to say necessarily transformed my business. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it made me feel more efficient because it functioned for me. So the stuff I'm going to talk today about, like the massive action stuff, you guys, this is all extra information. If you have a plan in place that works really well for you for inviting, I don't want you to be like, oh, I have to switch. That's not the intent of this call. This is just to show you another way that you can do inviting that maybe will work for you if you seem like you're struggling with it, and then we're going to run with it. So as far as announcements, I don't know if that 1:30 for Summit is still up, but I know it was still up yesterday, and Christy booked her ticket a day after they said the promotion was going to be ending for the $130 for the Summit ticket. I haven't looked today. Has anybody else looked to see if it's still up? If it is, if you guys have not got your ticket, you should jump on that. Kate, Christy, Kendra, any of you guys have any other announcements at all, aside from we have our big team Lift 4 group is coming up. It's going to be starting prep on the 16th, and the 23rd is our official go date. So if you are not in on that, please get in on it. Kate, I think you look like you have an announcement. Oh, you firecrackers. We were lighting off firecrackers last night, and then we were like, shoot, it's you can still do that, right? Like, we're not at a band, I don't think.
Okay, I'll talk. I have a crying baby in the background, so it's like maybe someone knows what I'm talking about. The Firecrackers group chat.
Okay.
You chat about that, Sindel.
Yes, I can talk about that. Okay, so what we are what we're going to start off doing is we will have a theme every month for basically our new coaches that are jumping in. There will be like a theme, and those that were at Summit, you guys will probably remember Danielle Natoni talking about how she has her groups of ladies. I think May, she called it like her motivated mamas group, and like all these things. And these are the new coaches that are welcomed into our community. So this month we have firecrackers. So any new coaches that you guys are bringing in this month, they are going to be part of the firecrackers group, and we will have a group chat for them. So they still get that one-on-one, as far as I shouldn't say one-on-one, but like a small group setting, because one thing that we've noticed, as our team is growing, we really want this to be, we really want to keep that, I guess, atmosphere of having that area that you can go to and talk and connect with the ladies that were brought in around the same time. I don't know if any of you guys remember, when you joined in, you probably had a team, or what, that's not the word I want to use. I want to talk, had a group where it was your new onboarding, your new coaching academy, or we're calling this new one that we're starting up, the new coach academy. You had a group that you were put into, and it was probably a small group where you guys could talk one-on-one. You guys were all announcing your businesses. All these new coaches were, right in there. Well, now that we've kind of moved to this bigger team format where our new coach academy is going to be ran via the units. So anybody that jumps into our group, they're going to be able to click that units tab in our team page, and that's going to give them all of that new coach training. But it takes away that piece of that, everybody gets to connect and talk to one another. So we're going to be starting a just group chat every month with all the new coaches will be put in there. This group is going to be called Firecrackers, and that will be kind of a space for them to talk one-on-one with each other and talk about, their new announcements and different things like that. So if you guys have new coaches, please let us know. We are going to have this up and running. I hope that all made sense. That was a lot of really random words that kind of got thrown out there. And it makes sense in my head because I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know if it makes sense to everybody else. So new coaches, let us know so we can get them set up with the Firecrackers group call or group chat, I guess. Does that make sense, everybody? Does anybody have questions on that? I'm seeing head nods. We're all good. Any other announcements at all? And we'll do a post in the team page about this to you guys. So if you do have questions and you're like, I think I know what you're talking about, but not totally sure, we'll put it in there and then you guys can let us know, because I know we've seen quite a few new people added to our team lately, which is really exciting, but we just want to make sure that they're getting the support that they need to. Okay. Kate, Christy, any other announcements? All right, well, we're going to jump in and dive into the content today, you guys. So today is going to be really more of a working team call, so to speak. I'm going to give you guys some info, but for the most part, we're going to do some inviting. I know in my post yesterday, I said there is some prep work to go with this. So please get together your list of people that you're planning on inviting to our new, either the Lift 4, the big team group that we're doing, or your new challenge group. I know some of you guys are starting this actually a little bit earlier than the team one. I know there's a group that's going to be starting their stuff on the 16th, which is really exciting. And I so love seeing all these people just jumping in and taking off and running your groups, you guys. And once you feel comfortable, like honestly, when you get to the point that you're like adding 5 people into the team groups, you should be like, okay, I can do this on my own. Like you really should be starting to get that confidence or team up with somebody else, because I can tell you it is really empowering when you are truly like the leader of this, because I know our team ones, we try to keep it so we want you all to have a leadership role, but we also don't want to confuse everybody. So we kind of keep the same bases with the team ones. So just own that confidence, like for real, own it and go, okay, I know I can run my own group or team up with somebody, because it's a lot of fun when you get to be like that true ringleader, that person that's running it. So all right, first off, we're going to talk massive action days today and inviting. Let's chat about inviting though, really, really fast. When it comes to inviting, I just watched Kate's story, so I'm going to reference this because I felt like it tied in perfectly. I was just happening to be like throwing through Instagram and I was like, so Fear's a Liar. Like she just talked about like the song Fear's a Liar was the song that she was working out to this morning. I love this song, though I'm totally blanking. It's somebody Williams is who sings it, right? I don't know, Kate, you can type it in the chat. It's such a good song, you guys. And if you get a chance, like when you're done with this call, you should watch her story because she like actually says some of the words that are part of the song. When it comes to inviting, I think we all have this fear of being told no, right? Zach Williams, thank you, Kate. Everybody gets told no. Okay, I think that's like one thing that we all are going to have in common. We're going to be told no in this business. And you always have to remember no means not now. And I'm not going to go into a ton of info on this because we have whole separate calls on inviting. But when it comes to that piece, you have to know that you're not the only one that's fearful of this. And it's also something that I can tell you from experience, when you get in a role of inviting, it gets easier. Like it does. And then sometimes you stop. And then it's a lot harder to pick back up, you guys. It goes right back to that whole rule, things in motion stay in motion, like that is what inviting is. So when you're constantly kind of in this invite mode, it helps. Now, this is kind of contradict what I'm going to talk to you guys about with massive action days, but I'm going to tell you how it functions better in my brain, which maybe it won't make exact sense to you because maybe you're the type that you're like, I have to do a daily power hour. Maybe power hours are your jam. If that is the case, please keep doing that. So keep doing that. But I'm going to tell you how my way of motioning with massive action days helps myself and how my brain functions. But let's just jump right into it. So inviting, first off, you guys, when you're doing your invites, you're going to see I'm going to show you some scripts in here. Username. You're going to see, I almost always title mine. Like some people do, hey girl, hey, how's it going? If I'm sending a voice message, I'll do something like that because if I'm going to send like a message to like 10 people, which is all the same thing, I'll say, hey lady, hey so-and-so, like that doesn't bother me. But when I'm sending somebody a direct message, I always like to use their name. So when I show you these scripts, you're going to see, hey, and then there's going to be a space. Make sure you're filling in that space. Make sure you're using their name. People like hearing their name. Don't overdo it because have you ever talked to somebody that like says your name after every sentence? Like, have you ever talked to like that person? I have a few times and I'm like, I've never heard my name so many times. So like, don't overdo it, but make sure they know that you're not like just copying and pasting stuff. Make sure you're taking the time to make it personalized to them, which leads me into make sure this is a personalized message that you're sending, but save your script, you guys, because a lot of the things we say are very repetitive over and over again. So if you send an invite and you're like, dang, that sounded really good, copy that. Paste it. Make sure it's in a place that is savable, that you know where it's at, because I can't tell you how many times especially when I first started this, like I would go back to people's messages. I'm like, oh, they asked me that same question or said the similar thing that I responded to so-and-so. And then I would like have to dive back through my things. I would spend so much time trying to search back how I worded that one invite or worded that one question or answer or whatever it was. And just don't do that to yourself. Save those things because it really, really helps. Laura, I see that you're chatting on here. 2,000. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading Laura's things. How many no's it's going to take for you to get on stage at Summit? 2,000. That's a lot of no's, you guys.
So I was telling people before, I just was watching the Rachel Hollis podcast, which was our June Success Club prize. And if I had never read her book yet, I haven't, I'm going to now. She got so fired up. And I was saying, like, she just packed all the inspiration we just got at Summit into this neat little package. So if you earned it, make sure you watch it. But her point was, get comfortable with hearing no, because people are going to say no. They're going to say not right now. They're going to say it's not for me. They're going to say all kinds of things. But if your goal is to be on stage at Summit next year, which several of us called out that that's where we want to be, what is it going to take to get you to your goal? And 2,000 is a random number, but if that's our goal, is to be 1-star diamonds by Summit, what do we got to do to get there? So, sorry.
That's a great point, because you guys, we're gonna get told no. So yeah, feel that fear, embrace it, and jump in. Okay, what else did I have on my notes here? Just save your script, you guys. That's gonna save you a ton of time in the future. All right, now I was gonna put together like a cute little slideshow for you guys for Massive Action Days, and then I was like, no, I'm sorry, I don't have the time to do that, so we're just gonna talk about it. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a comparing and contrasting the difference between a power hour and Massive Action Days, because there's definitely some distinct differences, but for the most part, it's very similar to what you do. You're doing the exact same things. You're just reformatting it in a different way. And like I said at the beginning, you guys, if you are one that does a power hour and that works for you, please stick to it, because I can tell you from doing both, in the long run, when you look at time, it doesn't necessarily save you a ton of time to do Massive Action Days unless you feel like, I don't know, if you're a little bit more like me and you have to kind of stick in one role and kind of repetitively do one thing at a time, it works a little bit easier. It might feel a little bit more comfortable, but for the most part, if you're what I'm telling you, you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to save me a ton of time. Know that it's probably not going to save you a ton of time. Okay, so don't jump ship if something is working for you, because you're like, oh, that sounds like it's going to save you time, because I promise you it's not going to save you a ton of time, but maybe it might just work functional wise for you a little bit easier. So basically, Massive Action Days, sorry, I'm gonna mute you guys that are not muted. Massive Action Days are basically your power hour broken into different days. And some people set their months up according to their Massive Action Days. I know for me, it's really easy for me to invite to one particular thing at a time. Some people are really good at inviting to the coaching opportunity and inviting to their challenge group, inviting to a free group, like doing tons of inviting to different things. Some people function really well that way. I personally function really well inviting to one thing. That just works better for me. So I would rather spend the first couple weeks of a month inviting to a challenge group, and then the second couple weeks of the month inviting to the coaching opportunity. That functions better in my brain. I feel like my chats with my people are kind of on the same wavelength, so it just functions a little bit better that way. It's also really good if you're doing an inviting session where you take a piece and you decide that, okay, now this week I'm going to form a ton of people. That also works a little bit better for me, because I can stay in that kind of communication mode for a little bit. And let's face it, you guys, and I'm just speaking for myself, maybe you guys can relate to this, we're kind of creatures of habit, but then we get bored, right? Like, we love having like this routine. We're like, I need a routine, I need to figure this out. And then we do, and then we get bored of it, which is why I told you guys, don't jump ship if you have something that's working good for you, because you're like, oh, this sounds more exciting. Don't do that, Kay. Stick with the boring routine, because if it's working, it's working. But this is what works for me, is the Massive Action Days. So I'm gonna bring up a thing that I created a while back. Let me share my screen with you really quickly, if I can find it. Okay. I hate how I can't see you guys then when I bring this up. So let's do this. All right, you guys, everybody should have access to to our Google Drive. You guys, if you don't know how to get into the team Google Drive, go to the team cover photo, click on it. You'll find all the information right there. But this tracker is right there in your Google Drive. So these are massive action days. This is something I formed when I was doing the have you guys read the book Eat the Frog? If you have not, you should like definitely read that one. It's really good. But this is basically just a nice simple tracker sheet. This is nothing fancy, you guys. You could do this on a piece of paper and tracking what you are doing. So on here, first, Eat the Frog, invite 15 people from your inspired list. So this is your list of people that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm either inspired by them or I would love to inspire them. And you can write it in here. You can just write all these people down. And then the last 5 are for the coaching opportunity. So you can kind of divide this out how you want to do it. This is just one that I had created. And you could obviously print 3 of these out and decide to do these all at one thing. And then the making new friends. And then the building relationships, that's the forming. So adding to your network and then forming. So these are the 3 big things that we do to obviously grow our business, but also generate income with our business and help more people with our business and do whatever it is that's, obviously fulfilling in what we want in our business. You can decide when you want to do these. Now, like Laura said, in this, what the gal was talking about with, 2,000 no's. That's a lot of invites, you guys, in order to get to 2,000 no's. So you can decide, okay, I only have 15 people on here and then 5 that I want specifically more toward the coaching opportunity. But you can print this 4 times and say, that's what I'm going to do. This is not rocket science, you guys. We essentially are doing the exact same thing we do with a power hour, but breaking it up into different days. So for me, it works really well to be like, okay, I have an hour of time, and this day I'm going to invite to my challenge group. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take the rest of the time for our team calls. We're going to invite. But then maybe the next day or maybe 2 days later, I'm going to say, okay, now I need to add 20 people to my network, or maybe I want to split that up over, 3 days this week. I'm going to spend a half hour each time strictly just adding people to my network. And then maybe another day I'm going to go, okay, now I'm going to bust out 40 messages and form new people. It just depends on what works good for you. I know for myself, it works easiest once I start inviting. It seems like once I get past the first couple, then I'm like, oh, I can knock 20 out pretty easily. But it doesn't always work for me in a power hour if I'm like, oh, I'm just going to send out 3 or 4 or 5, and then I'm going to do the same thing the next day. Like jumping back and forth just doesn't always work for me, but it might work good for you. That's totally fine. Whatever works. So, okay, now that I kind of rambled, any questions so far, you guys? Anything specific? I hope this is making sense to everybody. All right, so the rest of the time we are going to be inviting. Now, first off, decide what you're inviting to. Are you inviting to the team thing? Are you our team, our Lift 4 group? Are you inviting to your own challenge group? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste some invites for you guys. We're going to start with some warm market ones. I'm just going to copy and paste this entire thing into the chat for you guys. And then I'm just going to talk briefly about it. Kendra, I love what you just said there in the chat. Did you guys read that? Kendra said 4 of her new Lift 4 customers were no's 1 year ago. So, hello, she planted the seed a year ago. Bree has 2. I love seeing that. That's awesome, you guys. Maybe if it'll let me paste here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not letting me paste it. Hold on. Okay, it might need me to, maybe my message is too long. Let's see if I can do this one at a time. Okay, guys, we're going to start with warm markets. Oh, it is. I must be pasting too many words. It almost must only let you do so many. Okay, so the first one I have on here, you guys, these are warm markets. This is maybe somebody you never invited. Just says, hey, how was your 4th of July? I love the pictures of you and your family at the lake. Adding that personal touch there. So if you have somebody, obviously don't say this if you have no idea what they did for the 4th of July. They were definitely a reminder to me about how busy you are. Do you find it hard to fit in healthy eating and exercise into your life? I know time and accountability were 2 of the things that were really hard for me. And I just go on to say, I'm hosting a virtual boot camp group. It's focused with ladies only, 4 days a week workouts. and blah, 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 blah. And then you can read the rest of it. But it's just a simple invite, you guys. Sorry, I'm reading what Sarah said. Yes, Sarah, I'll put the sample scripts in there too. So I'm going to just copy and paste these next ones, you guys. I have a few of them for you. And if you have your own, obviously use those. You do not have to feel like you need to use these. The next one I put is somebody that you maybe previously invited. Maybe they said no. Maybe they said, I don't have the time right now. You guys, honestly, Le4 is the perfect program to invite to somebody that doesn't have time, because hello, is there a simpler, shorter workout out there right now? Not really. The next one I'm posting is to somebody that maybe is already into fitness, which I think Le4 again is perfect for maybe your CrossFit type people that, or they already run, they already kind of have something they like doing. This is 4 days a week. They can do whatever they want on those other 3 days. The next one is somebody that is already into nutrition. How many people do you guys follow that like they have their nutrition down and you love seeing their recipes? Like if that is the case, you should invite them to boot camp groups, and there's kind of a little thing for that. And then the last one I'm going to post on here, you guys, is a cold invite. Now I personally don't send out a ton of cold invites. I like to kind of form those people. So I would encourage you, you know, if this is like necessarily a cold invite, maybe form those people a little bit first. There's no sense, I feel like, wasting a relationship or starting a relationship off poorly, I would say, by just sending a cold invite to somebody you just randomly don't know. But if this is somebody that maybe you've chatted with, you're forming, you know, kind of something that you have going, send this last one to somebody that you're like, hey, I chatted with them and maybe the conversation died a few weeks back and now I want to invite them. So questions, if you guys have a script too, if you have like a really good one that you love using, please put it in the chat box so other people can see that, and I'll copy and paste that and we'll put it into the team page for everybody as well. Okay, so guys, we have, how much time do we have now? Another 20 minutes or so, and we're going to invite. Questions, concerns? All right, I'll check in with you guys in about 5 minutes. We'll see. I want to see how many people we can get done. Let's do maybe 5-minute check-ins. Does that sound okay? Would that be okay for everybody if we did like 5-minute check-ins? Let's see how many we have done just to kind of keep people going. 10-minute check-ins? What works for you guys? I need some feedback, ladies. Natalie says 5. Thank you. Okay. At 5 minutes, we're just going to, in the chat box real quick, just type how many people you've invited to and keep inviting. Okay? Bree, thank you for this little icebreaker I see that you just popped in here. All right, I'm muting myself and go. Okay, guys, that marks 5 minutes. How are we doing? I got 3 out. Anybody else get 3? 2? Good job, guys. All right, we have about 8 minutes approximately before our thing is going to kick us off here. So I'm going to set my timer for 7 minutes. Let's see how many we can get done in 7 minutes. And whoever has the most invites all together, I have a prize for you guys. Go fast.
Bring it on.
Okay, guys, we are down to less than a minute, so we're going to wrap this up really quickly. How many did you guys get? 3 for Laura. Good. Anybody have more than 3? Ellen had 3. Whoa, Bree and Christy both have 6. Nice. Did I 6? 26. Did you say 26? Ugh, Christy.
Girls, the voice memo, the list,
You're right. Voice memo.
I categorize them by never invited, have invited, and then I just, boom, done.
Good
Do you
job.
guys know you can send mass voice memos to people? Okay.
It is an awesome feature. It is like the bomb. Okay. Well, I guess Christy won. What am I going to get you? I don't even know what my prize was.
I'm good. How about a phone call with you later?
Okay, that sounds good.
I'm a quality time kind of girl.
Is Bree our next winner? Bree, I'm sending you something. I don't know what it is yet. Is that our next winner? I didn't see anybody more than 6. Yay! You guys are amazing. I'm really sad I didn't get a picture of everybody when we had a ton of people on. Not that you guys aren't just filling my cup right now, but now everybody needs Instagram quick. All right, y'all. Thank you for jumping on. If your invite mode is going, keep inviting right now. Peace out. I cannot wait to see how we all do. This is going to be awesome. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later.